Sedition banned, secession not allowed, subversion unacceptable. These three words, sedition, secession and subversion, are part of the Hong Kong draft legislation. These are also code words used by the Communist Party of China to quash political dissent. But Hong Kong won't accept this. Beijing's move to bring Hong Kong under its thumb has reignited the protests. Here's the latest.
Tear gas, pellet guns and water cannons. Pro-democracy protesters are back on the streets of Hong Kong. They are defying the coronavirus lockdown because their democratic freedoms are at stake.
We must stand up and fight and to let Beijing know that we will never surrender. And today, more than 1,000 Hong Kongers gather on street again is the proof that we will fight back.
An announcement from Beijing on Friday compelled the protesters to break social distancing rules and turn to the streets again. China plans to impose a national security law, one that will tighten Beijing's grip and spell the end of Hong Kong as we know it. Over the weekend, the protesters gave their reply. For them, the rule of Beijing is unacceptable.
Right now, Hong Kong situation is really critical, and we are worried that the Chinese Communist Party make use of the evil law to further suppress Hong Kong people, and they try to ruin the one country, two system, and just ignore all the Hong Kong people's objections.
Back in Beijing, the top brass of the Communist Party continues to defend the new law. After the announcement, China has unleashed its propaganda machine to defend itself. China has revived one of the oldest conspiracy theories in its playbook: the foreign hand.
The Hong Kong affairs are China's internal affairs, and no foreign interference will be tolerated. It is the basic norm of international relations not to interfere in the internal affairs of other countries, and every country should hold on to it. Secondly, it is the power of the central government to safeguard the national security, and no country is an exception.
As if on cue, the Chinese media is pushing the same narrative. In one of their commentaries, they accused the protesters of collusion with foreign powers. While there is no evidence to prove this allegation, the state media is taking an obvious aim at the United States. The editor of the Global Times, known for his brash nationalism, threatened US President Donald Trump against any form of retaliation. And it's not just the adversaries. It looks like China will respond to the protesters with a heavy hand. Beijing's tough stand is reflected in the behavior of the police. During the weekend protests, the cops were assertive and ready to stop mass gatherings. China has stepped up its efforts to control not just the city, but the narrative around it. Over the weekend, a foreign media network faced censorship in mainland China. Its broadcasts mentioning Hong Kong were not allowed to beam to television screens. Hong Kong refuses to bow to Chinese oppression. They call the proposed national security law a direct assault on their civil liberties. Clearly, China is hoping to brazen it out with brute force. One of Asia's freest cities is now on a collision course with the dragon. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.